Now I call upon Mr. Simon from Manipur to kindly share his experience. The title of your presentation is not listed here, and I came very late, so my apologies that I'm not able to describe your project. But kindly go ahead with your 15 minutes presentation. Thank you.
Respected panel moderators and distinguished panelists, and also the audience. I will be briefly speaking on my experience on our initiative that we have taken in Manipur. RNBA and its partner had initiated a program called Environment Development and Management Programs in 2006. The main emphasis is to improve the productivity of the poor farmers. We came to realize on the process of implementation that short-term productivity, short-term plans like seasonal crops are successful, but then long-term plantations, horticultures, we were not able to implement as deserved because the land tenures and land governance system doesn't permit the poor farmers to take up long-term plantations. Why? Because we have a complex situations in Manipur. You may not be aware of, some of you may be aware of Manipur, but I hope many of you may not be aware of what exactly is happening in Manipur. Manipur is geographically divided into two parts. One is plain, which is about 10% of the geographical area, where 65% of the population settled there. And the other is the hilly area. It comprises of around 90% of the geographical area, and where only 35% of the population settled there. And the land in Manipur is regulated into two parts again. In the plain, we have a proper land policy, which we call Manipur Land Revenue and Land Reform Act. And there they have a pata system. But in the hill, it is not like that. So to protect the well-being and interests of the hill tribal, provisions of 5th and 6th schedule of the Constitution was assimilated to declare the hill area in the state. It is neither 5th nor the 6th schedule. And we also have a provision called Article 371C, wherein it says that the hill area committee will be formed and they will look after the hill area interests. And again, we have a Manipur Village Authority in Hill Area Act 1956, where the village is to be governed by this village authority. And also we have Manipur Hill Area District Council Act 1971, passed by the Parliament. So we have a number of authorities, but there is no proper authority given through all these institutions. So our land in the hills are mainly regulated by the tribal customary laws, and it is mainly with the chief. So working with this poor community, village community, the communities are at the mercy of the chieftains, of the chief. So if the chief doesn't allow them to have a long-term plantations, they are not able to do anything. They were given a right to cultivate the land for only a year. So, as I said, the land tenures and holding systems can be broadly divided into three ethnic communities in Manipur, like the Métis, as I said, the valley dwellers. They follow the Manipur Land Revenue and Land Reform Act, and that is a Pata system. And the Nagas, they have a hill tribe. Mostly, it is a community ownership. And also the clans, some of the clans have a control over the land, and it is traditional, and it is a little bit more democratic. And the others are the Kukis and other tribes. These hill tribes follow chieftainship, and this is more monarchy. They have full powers, and if they are not happy with the villagers, they can even chase out from the village. So that is the background where we work. And the land issue in Manipur is there is in the hill is there is no survey land and no mapping is there and no proper record is there in the hill. Therefore, we have a land dispute often. And there is absence of formal legal framework, as I have said. There was no formal legal framework around land in the hill area, and equity issues around some customary system. And because of that, temporary leadership regulates internal management and transfer of land. And large-scale transfer of community land to rich and outsider, in a sense, not from the village, by the chief is often to be practiced because the chief become, they want easy money, so they tend to sell out their lands. And there is a high cost of dispute resolutions in absence of formal evidence around inter-community or inter- and intra-village land conflicts. And also there is double taxation on land in some cases where both customary and that MLR and LRA get some applied. Of the pocket of the Hill district also this MLL Manipur Land Reform and Land Revenue Acts are applied. And also the land rights of women in customary and in the former system is an issue. And land availability and allocation for infrastructure project. Now many project is coming up in Manipur, so that is also an issue for us. And so with all these problems, RNBA and its partner, 6 partner NGO, try to initiate some work on these land issues. We start working on land rights and governance in 2011 to address the lack of access to and right over the land by the poor and marginalized community. And we engage with the village and in village with the village authority and the clients and the clan levels. And also through action research and stakeholder consultations. And we also documents legal framework around land in Manipur, including customary laws. A state-level report and community-specific report, namely on Rongmei tribes, Kuki tribes, and Mar tribes have been developed by engaging researchers. Village-level mapping of land use, land rights, right? Village level of land use and land right maps have been prepared through participatory mapping process through use of GPS and GIS technology in all the partner villages, in one of the partner villages. And we also documented trends in land transfer in one village of each partner organizations. Consultation with clan leaders and village authority, and as I have already mentioned, we used to conduct on consultations with clients, leaders, and village authority on land rights. Here we analyze and finding of those documentations and mapping exercises are being shared with this, the leaders in the village. We also organize a state level consultation on land rights, and representatives from government and NGOs and civil society also were present on those consultations. Promoting women land right through group leasing in consultation with village authority. We form women self-help groups, and those women self-help groups have taken up some plantations. So we negotiate with the village authority, and they start leasing out the land to women self-help groups for about 20 to 30 years. And we also have a networking with other NGOs and civil society at large in order to negotiate with these land issues in Manipur. So these are some of the activities that we have taken in the past few years, and we also look forward in the future to take up in our project activities enhancing land rights, which mainly focus on women land rights and long-term land use. Here we will document the customary law with respect to women rights. Even though we thought that Manipur Hill area is, women are much more empowered comparing to other part of India, because the way our girls are mingled with boys, by just looking at the facial, we thought they are much more empowered, but when we come to land rights, women were neglected on the land rights, so we are trying to work on that. And community-based participatory mapping of village boundary and plots for NRM through user-friendly Android applications enabled with DGPS and Ganjan. We thought of making this in the future. So those are some of the issues that we are working with, and we hope that in future we will engage with other civil society and also work with the community for ensuring the land rights for the poor farmers in the villages. Thank you.